and most of the cases, especially reference to festivities, most of the company has implementing this manipulating price, especially reference to sweets, especially reference to crackers, even if newly launched hotels by ITC will, or in case of your welcome hotel by ITC group. So the next slide we are going to discuss about how, what and how they are fixing the price or setting the price. That is most important aspect. Moving to next one. So in case of what and how to manipulate the price for maximize the sales revenues, especially for a business, the most important thing is customer perception of product values and accurately align the product price. The next important thing is place and availability with each customer segments. So previously we have also discussed about a case study in case of DS Group, that company has launched the different segment of candy, especially reference to pulse candy, and how they segregate the customer segment, and that they must focus on product values, and they are also accurately align the product price as far as concerned with competitors. So moving to next one, in case of revenue management has developed, it's become more disciplines and technically using. Just a minute. Hello. Is my voice is audible?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Just a minute. So, in case of essence of discipline, most of the time I just repeat the same thing. In case of company like DS Group have launches the candy segment, especially reference to customer perception about product value. They directly focus on product value. The next is accurately align product price and placement and to candy segment. There are more number of competitors available in the market, especially reference to Pulse Candy have more number of competitive values as far as concerned with Pal Agros, Kacham, as well as they are directly focused the pricings, especially reference to product in case of your Pal Agros or in case of there are more number of companies, especially reference to Indian market. But the thing is that due to accurately align the product price, especially reference to DS Group, they directly provide value addition in case of their product as well as in case of this candy segment. Moving to next ones, in case of revenue management has developed, it has more discipline and technicals. It's using variety of analytics to predict the customer demand and to optimize the inventory. And the last one is price availability to maximize revenues. So most of the cases, what will happen, especially reference to companies, they are mostly go for forecasting of various demand arise by the customers, and they must go for optimize the various inventory level, especially reference to maximize revenue as far as concerned the availability of price. So these are the things which is very much enhanced to maximize sales revenue, which is directly or indirectly affect your company's revenue generation, especially in case of uh, customer perception of product value. The next one is accurately aligns product price. The next is placement, and the next is availability of product with each customer segment. Moving to next ones. The next one is a few essential conditions for revenue management. So, especially reference to revenue management, if you see, they directly focus on two aspects or two parameters. One is hard supply, another is soft supply. So, especially reference to hard supplies are those things which is in limited supplies and it is available at that moment in time. Especially reference to hotel has fixed number of rooms, or you can take the example of airlines which have fixed number of seats. In case of cruise liners, they have fixed number of cabins. But in case of soft supplies, the specially reference to constant, it may be applicable to, or it may be impossible, or sorry, it may be possible to increase supply to meet the demand, but the supply may not be at the time of or indeed place where the demand is greatest. In this case, you can simply go for limited flexibilities related to speaking but with some other constraint and conditions should be applied. For example, if you take the in case of restaurant for increased opening time, so during the opening time, you can see that the restaurant has increased the capacity, especially reference to sitting arrangement. Even in case of supply of delicious food, they have increased the number of dishes. But due to rapid, or you can directly focus in case of in terms of not increase the revenues, or if they not maximize the revenue, in that case they directly customize or simply optimize the inventory as well as supply also. So these are known as soft, and the next one is hard supplies, especially refers to revenue generation. Moving to next one, the next one is perceivals. In this case, it is not only the fixed supplies or supply is not fixed here. It is also possible, especially refers to airline seat, cabin on a cruise liners, or rooms or meals in cannot be stored in case of inventory, or it cannot be reused on another occasions. So, specially reference to if it not sold for specific lights in cruise or days, in case of opportunity for sales and loss. Moving to next ones, the variable price. The customer must be prepared to pay the variable price depending upon the nature of product and the demand. Especially reference to variable price, why company are providing the variable price? The thing is that they are basically focused on providing the unique environment for revenue generation, whether it should be applicable to airline industries or whether it should be applicable to your hotel industries for maximize revenue generation, especially reference to your revenue management. Moving to next one, the next one is low variable cost and high fixed cost, especially reference to revenue generations. These are very much relatively low, and these are serving either the airline seat or in case of hotel industries. I repeat, in case of low variable costs, these are directly relatively low cost, especially reference to servicing or either in case of airline seats. In case of high fixed cost, it refers to conditions where they have provide the high fixed cost, providing product or providing service, which not to be recovered. But the thing is that the cost of operating airlines and cruise lines and in case of hotel are largely fixed, irrespective of number of passenger or guests or using them. We can see in case of special reference to Bhubaneswar, we are vastly see special reference to three-star hotels. They are providing various type of highly fixed cost in case of ambience, in case of sitting arrangement, or in case of providing delicious food. They are never compromise in case of irrespective of passengers arrivals or in case of irrespective of customer arrivals. Moving to next one, especially reference to hard supplies, it is a constant where the operator cannot increase or decrease the number of seat or rooms. So I told that especially reference to hard supply, it is directly specially reference to increase or decrease the capacities. But the thing is that it is depend upon the offer relation to the demand arise by the customer point of view. Moving to next one, specially reference to constant. The supplier is key features for revenue management, and they are defined as well sellers cannot be readily increase the amount of product in sellers. So it means that whenever a particular company is providing sales, they cannot be rapidly increase the price or rapidly decrease the price due to availability of sales when the customers demand for increase or decrease. That is the concept behind constant in case of supply, especially reference to your revenue management. Moving to next one. So these are the relevance constant. If you see in case of constant, we have hard supply, we have soft supply, we have cost based. The revenue management is there. But if you see the conditions, especially reference to hard supply, that is perceivabilities. In case of soft supply, that is high fixed cost is there. In case of cost based, must provide the lower variable cost. So these are the things which is considered in case of implementing the growth or increase in case of revenue management, especially reference to business, in case of hotel or in case of airlines or in case of cruise liners, especially reference to cabin arrangement. Moving to next one, the next important thing is that I just quickly gone through these things. In case of the real application of revenue management is directly focused on the first and most important thing is demand for service can be divided into clear market segment and sensitivities. The next important thing is that the farm capacity is relatively fixed. Most of the cases, when you open a new industries or new companies, the capacity remain fixed. Whether it should be depend upon the type of customer that will increase the capacity or decrease the capacity. Moving to next important part, so there may be a time dimension to provide the provision for service. So that is why most of the company are providing various sales after service, and they have a period of span or time span is there for providing the entire dimension or provision for the service of this particular things. The next is cost of selling additional unit of existing capacities. So if you are go for value addition, especially reference to uh, customer oriented or cost customer centric focus, you must add various type of existing capacities in case of price of service. The next is it provide a opportunity to evaluate the accept or reject order, especially reference to service. And the last one is it define the peak and valley in case of demand forecasting for sales revenue generations. So these are the basic application which is vastly used in case of increase the revenues for a business or for a companies. You can choose the best company like hotel industries as well as airline industries. And the next important thing is in case of cruise lines, especially reference to booking a particular cabins. Moving to next one, is it clear to all? I think anyone, any doubt?
No, sir. Clear.
No, sir.
Okay, try to communicate with me because due to this slow network, I'll just switch off my camera. So just on my camera, is my face is properly visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
it is again we are in the online mode. It is very much difficult to provide the exact overview of revenue management, especially reference to your online classes. We will provide more input, but the thing is that due to this Omicron, we are again in the online mode, and only few people are came due to, for their placement activities. So I see that only a few newcomers are there, so especially reference to our operation management classes. So I hope that I will provide my best input in case of pricing revenue management as well as in case of your um, operation strategy classes. So anything you have doubt related to this particular topic, you can ask from your side. All are in their place or in already gone to their I mean your hometown. Yes,
Sir, in
Madhulika, are
rotation
you
only, sir.
you people are
Uh,
in Bhubaneswar. Okay.
yes, sir.
So moving to next one, the most important things, especially reference to your revenue management in case of model number two, that is known as just a minute. That is known as perfect competitions. So I just elaborate the most important aspect of perfect competition, especially reference to literal definitions. These are vastly used in case of economics. Especially reference to perfect competition is occur when all companies sell identical product. So if you take the example of Milk Moo versus Umped, they are selling the same identical product in case of pasteurized milk. And the next important thing, the market share does not influence the price. So if you see the market share of Umped, that already surpassed around 500 crore of rupees. But if you see the market share of Milk Moon, that already surpassed around 750 or maybe it should be 850 crore of rupees in the last financial year. But the thing is that in case of perfect competition, it is not happen, especially reference to virtual modes. If you take the example of perfect competition, there are some agricultural companies. The next important thing is some e-commerce company are implementing the perfect competition, and there are some broadband companies, especially reference to providing data package. They are also providing various type of perfect competitions, especially reference to data package. So, in case of perfect competition, try to understand there is no particular barrier to enter or exist in the without the barrier. The buyer have the perfect, you can say that is full information, and the company cannot determine the price. But if you see the scenario presently, it is not happen in case of a real world. So, for example, if you go to a particular, for example, if you go to market building area, if you see more number of food vendors are there, and they are identically sell the same fruits. starting from orange, banana, or you can say apples, grapes, all the things. But the thing is that if you go to this particular place, it refer to the market. There are many farms selling the certain homogeneous product. So if you take this example in case of market building area, the each seller providing the same homogeneous product, but the price determined by the market forces of supply and demand. But depending upon the supply demand or to balance between the supply and demand, most of the company are never go for perfect competitions. These are virtually happens. Suppose you opening a farm, there are 2 to 3 number of competitors are there. So we never, if a particular product XYZ product is not available from your side, you cannot refer to the other alternative to the customers. So in that way, what will happen? The perfect competition should not be considered in the real world. अगर आपके पास जो चीज़ नहीं है, आप अगर नहीं है, you cannot be send the customer to the other alternative or other options. If you send the customer to the other option, that should be considered the perfect competitions. But nowadays, if in case of competitive market, the perfect competition should not be considered. So basically, in case of the economic theories, these are literally provide the overview of various companies, but it's applicable for various type of company like online companies, especially refers to e-commerce companies, or those companies who are provide various type of data package. So we'll discuss that particular part. Moving to next important part, you can see the next one. So in case of, if you go to the theoretical models where condition of perfect competition hold, and it has been demonstrated that a market will reach an equilibrium condition. So in case of equilibrium condition, specially reference to identical product or specially reference to homogeneous product, all the competitors should be play or they should be act as a equilibrium. And that condition, that means you are selling a particular product with 10 rupees, the competitor will also selling the same product with the 10 rupees, and that should be considered as a perfect condition for many companies. But if you see the competitive point of view, if you sell the product with 10 rupees and competitor automatically reduce the price to maximize the sales, so in that conditions, the perfect conditions should not be considered. So most of the cases, especially refers to quantity supplied for every product or services, include labors equal to quantity demand at the current price. That should be known as competitive price. So moving to next one, you can see in case of most of the time, the seller will initiate the buying and selling mechanism, especially reference to no restriction. There is no entry or there is no barrier between number of competitors, and you can directly absence the direct competition. There is no increase or decrease the price from each competitor volume. And the most important thing is the uniqueness of perfect competition is that the market is provide homogeneous product. The next important thing is they will provide identical product to various type of buyers. And buyer has no barriers. They independently buy from any competitors. That is the perfect condition for buyer as well as for the seller. So in that case, the seller have to go for various parameters. They will provide various identical product, homogeneous product or unique product, and they maintain the equal price or equilibrium price for number of competitors. That is the best condition you can see in case of perfect country. Is it clear to all? I think.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just a minute. Moving to next one. So these are the few conditions, or you can see that the perfect condition provide both allocative efficiency and productive efficiency. You can see if you go to the literal definition, especially reference to point one, that in case of such market are allocative efficiently, its output will always occur when marginal cost is equal to the average revenues. So the first condition is that the marginal cost equals to your average revenue. Moving to next one, the next one is P equals to MC. That is your market price equals to the marginal cost, and that implies the factor price equal to the factor marginal revenue product. This is the second condition. And the third condition is that the marginal cost that equals to average cost. This is the third condition. If you go for short run, perfectly competitive market are not necessarily go for productivity efficient as output will not be occur when marginal cost equals to the average cost. And moving to the last one, that market price equals to marginal cost, that equals to your average cost. So here if you go for long term run, special reference to productive efficiency, occur a new firm enters into the industries. So in case of new industries or for a startup company, the competitive or competition is reduce the price cost to the minimum of the long run average cost. So that should not be the strategy of any startup companies. If you see the scenario in especially reference to Geo, whenever they started the companies, they directly reduce the price. So that condition is not reflect the perfect competitions, because whenever you enter the market you have to maintain the price as far as concerned with your quality of product. But if you see the scenario especially reference to Geo, they directly reduce the price from zero and there is no competitors there. So as I told that strategy is very much famous in the form of or in the terms of your destructive strategies. Moving to next one, you can see, so this is the typical graph for perfect competitions where your price and quantity should be maintained in the marginal cost or average total cost, and that should be cross section of this particular point, that is demand equals to your average revenue that equals to marginal revenues. So that should not be considered in case of your real scenario, especially reference to competitive market. So if you see the scenario in case of recently listed companies, especially reference to your Kia Motors or in case of MG Motors, they are never implementing this perfect competitions because they have to go for competitive advantage, especially reference to launching various SUV segments. In that case, they are not focusing on perfect competitions. So if they maintain the perfect competition, what will happen? Just like Ford or just like your Chevrolet Motors, they directly remove the entire product from the India. Same thing happen in case of your Harley Davidson also. So they have to maintain the competitive advantage, not implementing the perfect competitions. That is the scenario. Moving to next one, if you see the perfect competitions, as I told, in case of most of the airlines are implementing those things. The first one is online tickets auctions. The next one is truck farming, or farming trucks would be employed in case of perfect competitions. Then, if you go for perfect competition like uh, Tata company versus ITCs, the price of 1 kilo salt remains same from each brand. The next is gravel. Then, it's in case of garage sales, in case of online sales, especially reference to e-commerce side, they have implementing the perfect competition for few amount of product, not for all product. So these are the few example in case of perfect competitions in real scenario. Moving to next one. Any doubt you can ask anyone? From my side, I
Sir,
will
can
be
you please
commenting.
sir, can you please go to
Yes.
the previous slide, that graph?
Okay. So this is the graph versus price versus your quantity. So if you go for perfect competitions, you can see this green lines. That means your average total cost and your marginal cost that should be lies on the demand forecast. So whatever demand supply, that should be equal to your average revenue that equals to marginal revenues. But in case of real life, only few product is applicable, so few company are applicable or implies the perfect conditions. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So moving to next one, we'll discuss all three case studies here. The first one, the next topic is that is known as perfect competitive market. So in case of perfect competitions, you must focus on five characteristics. The first one is many competitive firm. The second one is similar products sold. The third one is equal market share. The fourth one is buyer has full information. And the last one is easy of entry and exit. So we'll discuss one by one. So in case of many competitive firm, you can see specially reference to perfect competition market has many buyers and sellers. So there is no barrier for buyers as well as sellers in case of perfect market conditions. And it's reflect the firm is known as price takers. So why I'm giving the example of farmer tractors or farmer trucks. So if you see the scenario in case of Mahindra versus that is known as John Deere, they maintain the same price. So there is no particular what that means. They are focused more number of buyers from Mahindra side, and more number of buyers or sellers maybe from John Deere sides. So they equally make the price, or they can simply say that we equally maintain the price, and these firm are known as price trackers. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Moving to next one. In the simple word or in the form of other word, the farm must sell equilibrium price. They maintain the equilibrium or equal price or equilibrium price. This is where the farm sell when supply and demand is aligned. So most of the cases you can see, especially reference to salt product. So Tata will provide with 10 rupees per kilo. Similarly, ITC also provide 10 rupees per kilo. So in case of salt industries, they are maintaining the equilibrium price. In case of every product, whether it should be ITC, whether it should be Tata, or whether it should be any XYZ companies. So they maintain an equilibrium price for many buyers as well as many sellers. Moving to next one, if it is not happens, they will go to the business, and there are many others farms that will sell the same product with lower price. So if you go for the alternative option, in case of you have only two options. If you go for more number of options as far as concerned with selling or buying the salt, there are more number of company are also providing the same category of product or same type of product or same identical product. So as a result, what will happen? Customer have little cost switch to the substitute goods. So if you go to a particular place and you found more number of restaurant, and each and every restaurant will provide the same dishes with same price. But the thing is that you go for increase and decrease price, most of the customer will directly go for substitute option or alternative options. That is the things. So that point is directly reflect many competitive firm has provide the price, and that price is known as price trackers. And if you have go for price trackers, or if you not go for price trackers, you must go for substitute of any other companies. That is the thing which is included in case of your many company farm. So moving to next one, the next one is similar products sold. So in case of similar product, you can see this particular figure, especially reference to Umped versus Milk Moo. They are directly selling similar product. But the thing is that in case of gaining the brand value, Milk Moo is very much famous. But if you go to the literal definition of similar products sold, especially reference to perfect competitions, the competitors sell similar product, and this is otherwise known as homogeneous or economic jargon. In terms of simple term, it is known as similar product. Especially reference to individual business may be distinguishable, and to the average customers, as a result, the ability and willing to switch easy and costless. So that is why firms are selling similar product. If you see the scenario in case of automotive companies or in case of two-wheeler companies, the specification of a bike in case of Bajaj or in case of TVS or in case of Hero, they are equally same, or these are very much equivalent. But the thing is that they will provide various abilities or willingness to attract more number of potential customers. That is the most important things. So moving to next one, just a minute. Okay, moving to next one. The next one is equal market share. So here you can directly focus on the most important formula, that is known as marginal revenue that equals to marginal cost. Especially reference to competitors all have similar market share because the farm are unable to compete on price. So in this regard, I will provide the best example in case of plumbing industries. If you take the example of Supreme Pipe versus Astral Pipe, so they never go for providing various type of competitive advantage in case of pricings. But specially reference to Astral Pipe maintain high quality as compared to Supreme Pipe. And most important thing, there is no room for reduce the price. That is why the Astral Pipe is only focused on agricultural based project. But in case of Supreme Pipe, they also focus on industrial as well as domestic applications. So moving to third point, you can see that if a farm was to reduce the price, they will start making loss. and it is because of cost more to make sale, meaning of it will go out of business. So if you decrease your price, most of the company who are not focusing on qualities or other parameters, they simply loses the business. Same time, if you increase the price, you have to go for enough competitive to attract more amount of customers. So this point is directly reflecting what value addition from the company side to attract more amount of customers for their particular product, whether it's the product which directly include a various type of features. In case of price, in case of quality, in case of durabilities, in case of sales after service, these are directly aligned with to attract more amount of customers. This fourth point is directly belong to your equal market share, especially reference to perfect competitors. So moving to next one, the fourth one is buyer have full informations. So being a customer, try to focus on in case of economic jargons, it directly provide perfect informations. That is, this is where the customer know that the business down the road sells the same product at lower price. So if you see, or if you simply go to e-commerce companies like Flipkart, like Amazon's, like Walmart, or like DMart, what will happens? They will provide various informations related to specific product. For example, if you take any mobile phones or cell phones, the cell phone company will provide the entire specification of this particular product. And they will provide the various aspect of various device in the segment of electronics. The customer is directly identify or they directly go for comparisons between various companies and their product also. So as a result, what will happen? The business are reluctant to raise the price ahead of competitors. So that is why most of the companies are directly increase the price. Due to this, buyers have full information regarding how to use the product, what is the specification of product, what are the durabilities, what are the feedbacks are given in case of whether should be considered in case of positive or negative feedbacks. Moving to next one. The next one is easy of entry and exit. So most of the company can enter and exist in the market with little cost. This can become into the form of financial or time in case of information or in case of information. So most of the cases, especially reference to oil and gas industry, require high level of upfront investments for installment of various machine. In case of refinery industries, you can take the best example in case of Indian Oil Limited, or in case of Bharat Petroleum, or in case of Hindustan Petroleums. They have high amount of upfront investment in case of refining of various crude oils. The next important thing is, as such, there is a barrier to entry with for competitors. So, especially reference to Indian market, the Hindustan Petroleum, Bharat Petroleum, Indian Oils have entry as a you can see the valuable competitors. And the most important thing, under the perfect competitions, these costs doesn't exist or they are directly fact insignificant. So depending upon the various type of GST, CGSTs, various taxes, most of the company are directly focused on competitive advantage, not in case of perfect competitions. So if you take the example of Reliance Petroleum versus Hindustan, or in case of Indian Oil, the Reliance have increased the price, but they directly focus on quality of petroleum product. So if you use the fuel from Reliance industry, the density ratio is very much higher set. But if you compare between Bharat Petroleum versus Hindustan Petroleum, the density is little bit low. So those who are using the bikes, they can also test their mileage by using Reliance Petroleum versus other companies. Is it clear? Soumya is
Yes, sir.
there? Soumya, hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Okay. So moving to next one. The next one is today we discuss about the various perfect competition examples. The first one is agriculture. The second one is foreign exchange. The third one is online shopping. So moving to the first one directly reflect the most important thing that is known as agriculture. So in case of agriculture industry, as I told that a company like John Deere and then Mahindra, the next is your even if escort companies are implementing various farm trucks and tractors but they may directly focus on various product, especially reference to farming. So in case of agriculture, we are discussing about various market product, or you can simply go for vegetables products. So in case of vegetable product, if you go to we move to the next slide. In the marketplace, the products are very similar. For example, we have carrot, we have potato, we have grains, and are all in generic, and with many farmers are producing the same things. But the thing is that, especially reference to your perfect competitions, a product is homogeneous, and they are maintaining the equilibrium price, and it is easy to buy some land or farm itself. That is why most of the company are directly focused on what, especially reference to your Reliance phrase, or in case of Adani nature phrase, they are focused on various farmers, and the farmers are providing equivalent product, or in case of homogeneous product. So they can easily identify the farmers, and they directly access to the market. But the thing is that the company will never go for purchase of land or farming, or in case of more number of farming areas. The next is, additionally, it will be easy for leaving the market. So the market has key sign the perfect competitions. So this is all about agriculture. I repeat, in case of most of the market are producing the similar product. The thing is that in case of farming industries, especially reference to generic vegetables, they are homogeneous in product, and most of the company are never go for buying the farm or buying the land. They only focus on the generic product or veggies. That is the things. And additionally, what will happen? It is easy to leave the market whenever the companies want to go for entry and exit from the market. There is no particular barrier for buying and selling. That is the condition in case of agriculture. Moving to next one. The next one is foreign exchange markets. So in case of foreign exchange market, you can see especially reference to US dollar or Great British pound. In that case, what will happen? The product is homogeneous. From if you count across the world, what will happen? The dollar price is homogeneous. That should be little bit vary from country to country, but approximately that the value should be same. In that case, what will happen? In this market, the trade exchange currencies, only $1, one British pound, and €1, the product is homogeneous. Additionally, there are many sellers and buyers in the market. Furthermore, it is easy to buy it is easy to buy some currencies and easy to sell it too. So normal buyer and seller may be at a disadvantage to compare the professional trader who do it for a living. But in case of one of the closest example, you can take in case of finding the competitive advantage in case of buying and selling the currency exchange, especially reference to authorized traders. So this is one of the next example in case of foreign exchange market, especially reference to agency or any trader. Moving to next one. The next one is online shopping. You can see in case especially reference to compare and gather the perfect information on a particular product. You can take the best example in case of books. The books are also available in case of Amazon, Waterstone, and Barnes and Nobles. But if you go to more number of buyer and sellers, the similar product are also available in XYZ e-commerce site. So at the same time, what will happen? They are generally or literally what they provide little bit difference in case of pricing, especially reference to selling the books. So what will happen? Further entry and exit with the low and cost, while companies such as Amazon has a strong market share, it is as too close to real life example in case of your perfect competition. So most of the cases, what will the company like Amazon and company like Walmart, even if company like Flipkart also implementing the perfect competition, especially reference to sellings and buyings of various books. So in this regard, I will provide the best example. If you see the scenario in case of copy one production, especially reference to country like Bangladesh, and especially reference to country like Sri Lanka, they are providing various copy one products, especially reference to book publishers. And in case of those things, there are more number of agencies, and you can see that is provider service are provided in case of publishing as well as distributions as well as selling of various books across their country as well as the neighboring country like India, like Bhutan, like Nepal also. So for that thing, they are implementing perfect competition for maintaining the price difference little bit lower and higher, and that should be considered the perfect competition, especially referred to selling various books across their country and subcontinent countries, as well as the neighboring countries. So that's all from my side. Any doubt from your side, you can ask anyone. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No,
Yes, sure.
no doubt, sir.
Okay, thank you. So just hold a second. I just take your attendance once again. Just a minute. Just a minute. So who is Ananya Swai?
Me, sir.
So this is your first class, I think.
No, sir. This is not my first class. I have attended offline classes.
Okay, fine. So thank you. I just conclude the sessions, and day after tomorrow we'll have the operation strategy classes. So thank you all.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.